Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, food, relationships, and mental health. Our weekly co-hosts are Dr. Delvina Thomas, Imani Warren, and Chef Irene. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
I just be like jamming, y'all, you know? Hey, y'all, it's your girl. It is Nicky G. Nicky Says YOLO, and welcome to another episode of MIA Magazine Presents. So, hope you're having a great Wednesday. And I want to start with this. So, we had a special show last week, and we spoke about the casting for Ready to Love Miami. So if you missed last week's episode, go ahead and tune in. The link is in my bio on Nicky Says YOLO on Instagram and also on Facebook at MIA Media GRP. So Miami, if you're between the ages of 30 and 50 and ready to love, if you're ready to find your soulmate, this may just be for you. So watch our interview. All the deets are on there, the email address. I was able to speak to the casting associate producer, Audra Bryant. So again, Ready to Love Miami is casting for their next season. Now, this show is brought to you by our sponsors. So it is the New World Symphony and also the Florida Lottery. So tonight's show, we have two special guests. We have Howard Herring. He is the New World Symphony's president and CEO, and also Argarita Johnson-Palavincini, director of Florida Memorial's Ambassador Chorale program. So we'll be speaking to them in about the next 10 minutes. So go ahead and stay tuned. And now on to our first co-host. She is our, I would say, culture connoisseur for South Florida. She's our culture expert. She knows what's happening, what's going on within South Florida. So Imani Latifa, what are we talking about tonight?
Hey guys, and welcome to the Culture and Arts section of MIA. I'm so glad to be back. Missed you guys. I was a little under the weather. See, I'm still trying to get things back. Are you guys staying warm out there? It's like, oh my gosh, it's like 40 something degrees. So I just wanted to send a happy new year and a special shout out to my MIA team. I hope you all are well and staying healthy. I'm presenting this video that I've done over the course of New Year's and for the last week or so. Until I started feeling under the weather. So I hope you all are well. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you soon. Mwah. Hey guys, and Happy New Year. It's been a couple of weeks. If you guys didn't know, I was a little under the weather, but I am here. I am ready to get back in the swing of things. So I just wanted to kind of talk about how my holiday was leading up until the beginning of January. So I spent my holiday in Savannah, Georgia, which is where I went to school, where I lived a couple of years, finished undergrad and graduate school there. So we had a fabulous COVID-free and spatial-free New Year's, and kind of spent it on Hutchins Island, which is right across the bridge. So just a nice little 6-hour drive up from Miami, just to kind of have a different scenery. So I went to hang out with some of my friends, and we had a spectacular time. So I wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that we experienced. And as you see right here, there's some footage with me and my friends downtown Savannah. And Savannah was lit. If you've never been there, you definitely should take a look. This is me and some of my crazy camera work, so please forgive me. But me and my best friends kind of hanging out and making sure that we kind of see what's going on in the streets. And it was lit. This was actually New Year's Day, and people were out and about. The weather was great. People were trying to party and kind of get it in. Also have some wonderful friends there that are Haitian artists. Like, we have a lot of Haitian artists here in Miami. And my friend Mr. Baptiste had a gallery So these are some of my friends we were out visiting. And of course, this is me looking all fabulous in my superhero outfit for the new year. I also had the opportunity to visit some of my beautiful friends at Geechee Kundu Museum and Cultural Arts Center, which is located in Riceboro, Georgia. They have some amazing things there. They're actually closed, so this was kind of like a private VIP thing. As soon as I started to feel better, I actually grabbed my favorite salmon salad Caesar with a daiquiri, and of course, who can forget cheesecake? There was an amazing event here where some Philadelphians came down and the Move 9, which was a show on HBO, and they kind of did a premiere in North Miami, which was like a talk back. So I went to kind of pay homage and visit that. Other than that, this is a clip of Lauryn Hill's new film that's coming out.
Are there
Thank
any
you.
American poets in here?
Why is we Americans?
I want to hear an American poem.
Boo-dee-da. Boo-dee-boo-dee-boop, boop, boop.
So guys, thanks so much for watching. That last clip was from Lauryn Hill's new film that she produced about Amir Baraka. It's coming out soon. Black History Month is coming. You guys know we gotta turn up for Black History Month. It's like my favorite month of the year. But I just wanted to send a special shout out to the beautiful Nicky and our other co-hosts. Thanks guys so much. I hope you get a chance to check out, and I have some very exciting news coming up. Something special is coming to Miami. I hope to break the news next time. As soon as it's clear, I'll be able to let you guys know. It's very exciting. But until that time, peace and blessings, and stay warm.
Wow. Wow, Imani, thank you so much. And get well soon. And the video highlights of Savannah, Georgia was absolutely gorgeous. I was there actually, I want to say about 2 years ago, and I had no idea that there was like a Haitian American museum. So when I go back, we have to definitely connect to get the info. And also Lauryn Hill, wow, she has like a new movie she's producing, Wise We Americans. That's very interesting. So thanks again. Get well soon, and we'll see you next week. And now on to my next co-host. He is a private and personal chef, also a book author. So Chef Irie, Wagwan Wednesday.
Well, happy Hump Day Wednesday, girlfriend. And, you know, we got to have some vino. Yes. Or drink. Well, today I'm having vino because, you know, it's just kind of nice and light. You know, this whole week has been, ooh, frigid, girl. Man, look here. So we go in light. Maybe I should have some spirits. You know, that might have warmed my soul up. But what am I talking about this week? Of course, you know, it's all things food. So next week, February 1st, is the Asian or the Chinese New Year. It starts the Chinese New Year, February 1st. I guess, you know, it would be their spring festival, but, you know, it's not quite spring yet. Okay. But February 1st starts the Chinese New Year. And that celebration typically lasts for about 2 weeks, and it culminates the end of that 2 weeks end with the Chinese Lantern Festival. But, you know, because it's, you know, traditions, food is always a big part of, you know, traditions. So here are some foods that, you know, if you were, you know, liking, you know, you can try some of these. You probably have them anyway. But because of the Chinese New Year, these are dishes that are eaten, you know, for the Chinese New Year's, because they specify a lot of different things. Dumplings, girl, I love me some dumplings, you know. But, you know, I love me some Asian food and Chinese food, you know, just all around. But I love me some dumplings, all right? So when you have these dumplings, there's nothing wrong with eating a dozen or 2 or 3 dozen, because the more dumplings you eat, baby, it's the more prosperity. Yes, dumplings and prosperity and wealth. So the more dumplings you eat, more wealth for the Chinese New Year. All right, good. And when you eat before you eat a dumpling, you know, you want to say, bring on the wealth and the treasure. Obviously, you say that in Chinese. I ain't Chinese. All right, next one, spring rolls. Yeah, man. Spring rolls, you know, before you eat this, always say, a ton of gold. Yes, because it's the carrier of prosperity. Gold is. So eat up. So if you notice, there's going to be a theme through the foods in Chinese culture. Everything has to do with prosperity, wealth, and everything. So these are foods, that are reminiscent of those, and that you should eat some of these. So that's your spring rolls. What's next? We got our glutinous rice cakes. All right. Not sure, I've never had these before, but you know what? Maybe next week I'm going to try some glutinous rice cakes. It's rice and dates, and a bunch of other spices and things in it, and it's cooked in lotus leaves. So I'm gonna have to try the glutinous rice cakes. What we got after that? I think it's sweet rice balls. Now, so Asian culture is just amazing in terms of the variety of foods in Asian culture is just amazing. Yes, it's not just fried rice, it's not just fried chicken wings, because those are all Americanized. You know what I'm saying? It's not just chow mein and lao mein, okay? Or lobster sauce, because
You said the duck sauce?
and
What?
the duck sauce, girl, there's no duck sauce in China, girl. What you talking about? Yes, the sweet rice rolls. This is about family togetherness. This is what this signifies: family togetherness. And if you know anything about Chinese culture, family is huge. Family is huge. Okay, there and the big thing about their family is that, especially in Asian cultures, the elders are reveredly respected. You must have respect for your elders. So the sweet rice balls, family togetherness, it makes sense to me. Yes. All right. What's next? Steam chicken. Whole steam chicken. What we got for the whole steam chicken. I don't remember what that is, but I think it has everything to do, with wealth and prosperity, like I said. But whole steam chicken, and you want to make sure that you have leftovers. Everything about all these foods and dishes, especially if you're going to make a nice buffet, a nice dinner, you want to make sure that you have leftovers. All right. So the next one that comes up that you must try is noodles. All right. So we're not talking about those little short noodles, and we want long, lao mein, long chow mein. So the longer the noodles, the more prosperity you will have for the year, darling. So and yes, so the noodles bring prosperity, happiness, and longevity in your life. So when you go out there, my friend, Precious, we always try to have the beginning of out the regular year. But, next week, February, we're going to have some more noodles. And of course, fish. So this is really cool now. So the fish, if you have it on the table, you want to make sure that that's the last dish that gets eaten. All right.
Wow.
And you want to make sure that you have lots, left over. Typically, they use carp or catfish or stuff like that. But here's the cool thing. When you put the placement of the fish is important. When you place the fish on the table, the head of the fish must lined up with either your guest or the elder, whoever is the oldest person at the table. All right. And nobody eats until that person eats off the fish. All right. So they get to eat first. All right. They get to eat first. And so the person where the head of the fish is oriented towards, and the person that the tail of the fish is oriented towards, they will in turn have a drink together. Yes? So it may look simple, it may look crazy, But one of the things that I implore people, especially when you're traveling, hopefully I get a chance to travel later this year, to somebody's country. I'm going to use my passport, girl. But I implore people to understand something about the country you're going to visit. Do not just go up in there willy-nilly and be all ignorant about other people's culture and customs. It's important that you understand, something about these people's, the country that you're going to visit. Understand a little bit about the people and about their foods and their culture. It is important to them, and I think you will get more respect if you show them that it is important to you as well.
So I have a question though. So with the dumplings, right? What's inside the dumplings?
Look at man, you can get any dumplings. You can get vegetable-filled dumplings, pork-filled dumplings, shrimp-filled dumplings, chicken-filled dumplings. So it's a matter of, it doesn't matter what's in the dumpling. Just eat some dumplings.
As long as it's a dumpling.
As long as it's a dumpling. Whether it's, dumpling that's rolled like that or a shumai dumpling, you know what a shumai dumpling is. Those are like, the steam open face dumplings. So they're not closed in. But any dumpling will suffice by there.
Oh, all right. Okay, Chef. Well, thank you very much. And we'll see you on your show tomorrow night at what time?
7 p.m. Flavors of South Florida, baby. Hey.
All right, Chef. Well, stay warm, and we'll see you tomorrow night, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And now on to our first featured guest. He is the president and CEO of the New World Symphony. So, Mr. Howard Herring, hello, happy Hump Wednesday. How's it going?
Doing fine. Great to be here. Thank you for including us.
Of course. And I see you're all bundled up as well.
Oh, yes. 40 degrees outside.
So tell us a bit about your background. Are you from South Florida?
No, I'm not. I grew up in Oklahoma, but I came here by way of New York, and I've been here 21 years. I came here as part of a team that would bring forward a new facility for the New World Symphony, and that is the facility where we do our work now here at 17th and Washington on Miami Beach, just south of the Jackie Gleason Theater and the Convention Center. It was quite an adventure to bring all of that together, program, construction, and finally completion in January 25th of 2011. So we're almost at our 11th anniversary.
Wow. Okay. So first off, so this weather, basically, it's nothing for you then. If you're from Oklahoma and New York, this is like easy breezy. You can go to the beach. It gets cold. Matter of fact, right?
Yeah, it gets cold there.
Okay. No, well, that's awesome. Well, welcome, and we're very excited to have you. So now I read your background, and how did you fall in love with the piano?
Great question. I think every musician tells this story. One of the things first of all, you get to move at your own pace. This is not like public school where you have to either you're ahead or behind. You're never quite in the right place. The teacher's always dissatisfied with you on some level, but playing the piano, you have a piano teacher and they're constantly working with you one-on-one. So you get this chance to go at your own pace. But what really brought it home was I watched people react to my playing, even as a kid. Oh. You make people smile. And you think, I can do that. And then little by little, you realize that you want to be part of music for the rest of your life. So it's a decision that most musicians make somewhere between 11 and 14 years old. And then once they've decided, the rest of their life is determined by how intent they are on pursuing and developing their own talent. And that's what we do here at New World, because our players come to us. They are like a doctor's residency program. They come to us on a fellowship. They learn about themselves. They gather their own voice, and they prepare to be comfortable as artists in the world.
So, is it out of high school, or how does that program work?
Out of college. They must have an undergraduate degree. The majority have a master's. We have 87 players in the fellowship, and it's a 3-year fellowship. So we roll over about a third of the group. Every 3 years, we have about 1,000 applicants for the 30 openings. So all of these players arrive here. The ones that are chosen are very fine players. When they arrive, they're even better when they leave. And they play over the course of 35 weeks, 70 concerts here at the New World Center.
Wow. So okay, so with the pandemic, do they have to audition? Is it this
Yeah.
in person if they have to, or is it virtual? How does that part
We
work?
we went to virtual for two
Yeah.
very good reasons. One that applies to Harlem Renaissance. We went virtual because we had to. There was no way to put our team on an airplane and travel around the United States, which is what we did before. But we have been for the last 6 years quite intent on casting our net further. And so if you do online auditions, you can hear more players and you can hear more players from diverse backgrounds. And you see that reflected in the orchestra today, which is made up of a good number of Black and brown and Asian and white players. It's a wonderful mix.
That's awesome. And speaking about the Harlem Renaissance coming up, so I Dream a World. It's the Harlem Renaissance and beyond. What exactly is that?
So I Dream a World is a poem by Langston Hughes, and we use that poem as a start point. What we are doing, first of all, is taking the incredible statements that came out of the Harlem Renaissance, music, art, poetry, and we're bringing those forward in part because this music has been overlooked, and we think it's time that the world knows this music, the broader world knows this music, and in part because our fellows need to know this music in order to be prepared to live full and engaged lives for the rest of their lives, both in an orchestra and also in their communities. So it has a double purpose. One, it's about this community, the Miami community. It's also about our fellows. And in the doing of all that, what we've discovered is that we're going to bring some folks in from the outside. Michelle Bradley, who's a Metropolitan Opera singer, has been with us a number of times in the past. Michelle Kahn, you see her picture there, pianist from the Curtis Institute in Philadelphia. We also have Kevin Young coming, a poet and also the executive director of the National Museum of African American History and Culture in DC. All of this created by Tammy Kernodle, who is a professor at the University of Miami of Ohio and a musicologist and an expert in the Harlem Renaissance. And one of the most wonderful parts of this is that the Ambassador Chorale from Florida Memorial will be with us on the opening night of this festival. And I know Dr. J is with us, and she might have some words to describe how they will be participating.
Yes, and let's welcome Dr. J. So, Dr. J, before we start, I think I may have butchered your name prior. So, how do you pronounce your full name?
My name is so difficult, girl, but you did a very good job. So it's Argarita Johnson-Palavincini, but you said that, so thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. So what is your role exactly?
So I'm just the director of the amazing, though, Ambassador Chorale. I would not be who I am if it weren't for the students. So for me, I just help to lead them, but they are the talent. They're who you're coming to see.
And you're with the Florida Memorial University Ambassadors Chorale program.
Yes. So we are the only HBCU down here in South Florida, Florida Memorial University. And so the Ambassador Chorale is one of the let's say we are one of the ambassadors for Florida Memorial. So we go out and we do various performances and just, help people know the school and see the talent that we have here.
Yeah. So tell us about your role with the I Dream a World Festival coming up.
So I'm so excited. I was actually able to speak with Dr. Tammy on Zoom, and it made my whole everything because she is an expert on the Harlem Renaissance, and she's a wonderful musicologist. She's a wonderful pianist. So it was an honor for me to actually speak with her. So after I spoke with her, then I was able to understand more of what we were going to do. So we're assisting in taking this musical journey as well with poetry. We're going to be singing some spirituals. And then we're going to actually do a song with Miss Bradley, which I'm very excited about. And then we will end with some gospel music. So again, this was all the idea of Dr. Tammy to do that journey and the pieces that we're going to do as well. So I'm elated. I'm so excited. So that's our portion.
So what day? Is there like a special day that we should attend, or what day will the chorale be performing?
Well, the chorale will be performing. However, this is a week-long event, so everybody come every single day if you can. That would be glorious. But the chorale will be there on Tuesday, February 1st, 2022.
That's around the corner.
Yeah.
A week. Yeah, about a week. Okay.
Yes.
So, well, very exciting. Thank you so much. Yes, and we'll see you like next week.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Herring, so much for your vision of all of this as well, and for including us as well. I'm so excited to be working with you and the New World Symphony. It's going to be great.
That's fantastic. We're going to love having you. And Nicky, if you can say Pallavicini, I bet Dr. J can turn you into a musician. That's my bet.
No, for some reason, I want to say like fettuccine. I don't know why.
That's close.
It's cool.
There we go.
You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you again, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. So now, so Mr. Herring, I have a question for you. So as far as the Harlem Renaissance, what does this mean for the New World Symphony? Why is this so important?
So I'm sure your listeners are well aware the Great Migration sent all these people north, and they arrived in the urban centers. And the concentration in Chicago and New York and DC and Baltimore, even on the West Coast, all of a sudden, all these folks were together, and the artistic explosion was something that is very much, how do I describe this? Something that we all admire, something that we all want to have as part of our own legacy as musicians. And so once we began to focus, and once we found our way to Tammy Kernodle, who is the expert in Harlem Renaissance, she began to weave this into the 35 weeks of the New World season, and especially into these 5 concerts that we will do in the week of February 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's parsed out. So the first night is music and poetry. The second night is all piano, incredible music written by Black composers for the keyboard. And that will be offered that night and then become a website, and we will continue to add to that website. The third evening is our own New World Fellows playing music for small ensembles, 5, 6, 8 players. The fourth night is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We're going to do a showing of that film. The American Black Film Festival does its annual festival here at New World Center. And so they helped us out. They went to Netflix and said, you got to do this for
Yes.
the Harlem Renaissance Festival. So good for them, and thank you very much, everybody at American Black Film Festival. And then we finish off on Saturday night, February the 5th, with an orchestral evening, all orchestra. It's going to be something that is very much of and by the New World Symphony. We play mostly as an orchestra. So you'll hear the entire group. And it finishes with Duke Ellington's Harlem, a tone poem that he wrote at a point in his life where he was imagining the orchestra well beyond what he did for his bands, for the big bands that he organized and promoted. This is a great big orchestral work, and it is gorgeous. And that's how we'll finish the week.
Wow, very exciting. Like I'm looking forward to attending. I could just like the way how you like you just spoke about it. Like I just visualized the entire festival, and it's very exciting. So how can we find more details about this?
Go to NWS, as in New World Symphony, .edu. If you go to that website, the first landing page as you get there is going to have all the details, and you can follow. That's it. Follow the breadcrumbs, and you'll see what's offered when and how to get tickets. And we will love it if your listeners decide, if your viewers decide to come and be with us.
No, yeah, definitely amazing, definitely. And to wrap up, I do have another question, or 2 more questions. So what is your all-time favorite song to play on the piano?
Oh, depends on what day you ask me, but through my whole life,
your whole life, yeah.
The music of Brahms, and of the music that would have been part of Harlem Renaissance and after, as it developed, I have always loved the Count Basie Orchestra. I have presented them in the past. I think the Basie Band is a remarkable organization, and they continue to go beyond themselves. They're always writing new music, always taking things the next step. So that's my answer today.
Thank you for sharing that. And what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be?
What would I tell my younger self? Be open, listen. I've spent a lifetime learning to listen. Musicians listen by the nature of their work, but listen to people, really listen to people. That's what has made my life deeper and richer. And just keep making music.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, this is very exciting. Again, I'm super excited, and I'm trying to picture what outfits I'm going to wear on each day.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Think about it. Think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Definitely. Great festival. Sounds really good. And thank you so much for being our guest tonight. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Nikki. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Okay.
And everyone, so again, we have a few shows lined up every day of the week. So tomorrow is Lunch with Legacy Leaders with Anne-Marie Serral. Visit MIA Media GRP. Her show is at 12 p.m. And then tomorrow is Flavor of South Florida with Chef Irie at 7 p.m. So again, visit MIA Media GRP. You can live stream on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you so much. Don't forget to visit the New World Symphony website. The festival begins on the 1st of next week through the 5th. So we'll see you next week, and have a wonderful Wednesday night.